Welcome back, my friends. So in this video, we're going to learn how to standardize. Standardize is kind of a big word, but it's a really simple concept. So what it is we want to get all the information that's under the person on the most important part. We want them to look a certain way, kind of like a cookie cutter. If you were making sugar cookies and you want all your cookies to look like hearts, it's kind of like that. So with numbers and letters. So we're going to give you an example so you can see what I'm talking about. So we're just going to look at miles for a minute. Let's go back into miles. And remember, we learned how to right click and open him up in a new, oops, sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. Right click, open link in new tab. And while that's doing that, I'm going to actually go back on this page so that I can get back to our descendancy chart. There we go. So Miles. Okay, now we're going to go into him. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look at Miles and make sure that everything is standardized. So first, I'm going to show you an example of what it should look like, and then we'll find one that's not standardized. So when you're looking at standardized, what I mean is that cookie cutter that we're talking about is the way the dates are written and the way that the places are written. So the location of the person, where they were born or where they died. And here you see the number 27 April. So he was born the 27th of April, 1795. That's correct. And that's what we want to see. We want to see the date, meaning his birthday day first. Then we want to see the full month spelled out and the year. That's the right way to have the order of it be. And as you can see, his death date, same thing. He's got the date, the full month spelled out, and the year that he died. That's the order. And that's how the computer wants that to be. And there's reasons why they want it to look that way. If you know what a search engine is, if something that goes and searches for something, well, when we have the cookie cutter format, it's able to find things a lot easier because it's exactly the way it wants to see it. And so it finds more of your blue boxes, which he doesn't have any blue boxes showing. But those little blue boxes that we've seen in the other video, that's what it's looking for. It's looking for sources. If your dates and your locations are done the way that they like to see it, the cookie cutter form, then it will pull it up a lot easier. It'll find those sources, and we want to find those sources. That's like your treasure. Those are your clues. And you want all those blue boxes because they're your clues to make sure that you've got this person has accurate information. They have the sources that they need to be able to take them to the temple, because we want to get them to the temple, right? And we want to get their family to the temple. So these are the way that you get to find more of those treasure boxes, those clues, the blue boxes, okay? So that's how we want the dates to look. Now, the location. So have you guys ever seen a hot air balloon? A hot air balloon in the sky, those big, they're circle at the top and they come down to kind of a point almost. Well, this little icon right here kind of reminds us of a little hot air balloon, right? That is what you want to see where your location is that hot air balloon. If you see that hot air balloon, you know that that is what's called standardized. And that's what we want to see. So this person's is correct right there. And that's great. We want to see that. Now let's look at somebody who's maybe not. So let's go back to, we can close out Miles and let's go back to our descendancy chart here. And let's just look at somebody. And I'm just actually going to right click, click on their name and it will bring them up. And if I see everything's looking good, but she doesn't have the little, let's see, I'm looking for somebody whose their date is not quite right. That's a quick one to look for. So I'm going to go back. Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't do what I taught you to do, which is open my stuff in new tabs. Okay, so she didn't. Let's look at James. Right click on James, open him up in a new tab. And we're looking for somebody that needs to be standardized. Okay, so James he's looking pretty good, which is great. And he's got his little balloons, which is what we want to see. That's great. And all of this stuff right here is looking good. Okay, so we haven't found one yet. So this is kind of I should have found one ahead of time, huh? Let's look at Lorinda. Lorinda, what do you have for us? Somebody has been very diligent in doing theirs. Okay, let's just look at, oh, no, no, we still done. Okay. Benoni, that's kind of a fun name, huh? Benoni. All right, Benoni, what do you have for us? Oh, yay. Thank you, Benoni. All right, so do you see the problem right away? We don't see the little balloons and we don't see the month fully spelled out. So we know that this needs to be standardized. So the way that you do that is you click on the edit button, edit right by the birth. And that's going to bring up his birth date, the way that the computer has it. This is what it should look like. This with the calendar, that's what you really want, is the calendar version. And then we have what the computer has here. And this is what the standardized looks like. Okay, so it actually helps you to know what it's supposed to look like. And that's good. So all you've got to do to change the date is click right behind the last number in the birth date box and hit the space bar. If you don't know what the space bar is, have mom or dad help you. Hit the space bar and then it will bring up options for you. You want the one with the calendar. Just click on the calendar. Perfect. Now for the place, you do the same thing. You just click behind the last letter and hit space bar and it will bring up the list and we want the one with the balloon in it. So click that. And then you want to type in this little box, standardized. Maybe mom or dad could write that word down for you so that you can know how to spell it. You don't need to capitalize it, that's okay, but it's standardized. And actually you can just write the word down as you're seeing me type it in here, standardized. And that's all you have to type in there. So that if someone else is watching over this person, and maybe it's their family member and they want to know what you did to their record, they'll know what you did to their record because you put standardized. Okay, and once we've done that, we want to click save. And it will update their information. Now we're going to do one more just so we can have some practice here. We're going to see his death date is not correct, right? And his where he was, where he died. So we're going to click edit. And then we're going to click behind that number, press the space bar. That's going to bring up our options. We want the one with the calendar. And under his place of death, we're going to do the same thing. Click behind that last word, push the space bar, brings up our options. We want the balloon. And then we're going to type what? Standardized, that's right, standardized. That lets the people that are looking at his chart know what we did. Then we're going to click save, and he is standardized. And that's going to help bring up our little treasure boxes, right? Those little blue boxes that are clues and lead us to the treasure of getting someone to the temple. So that's exciting. Okay, and so Benoni is done. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.